Hey up, I'm GuyKesTV the Testament, and this is Ryan Stockton, my XC wingman for today, because it's time to test something a lot of you have been asking in the comments. Giant Anthem SL versus Specialized Epic 9 Pro. So, 220mm state-of-the-art XC race bikes that look very, very similar in some respects, but now it's time to hit the trail and find out how differently they ride in reality and which of their characters will suit which riders, to help you pick your ultimate big brand hyperspeed XC weapon. So we're going to start off with Ryan on the Epic, me on the Anthem. Let's get full details. Ryan's on Epic 9 Pro, so 8 grand. I'm on Anthem SL0, so 9 grand bike. But in terms of weight, actually really similar. Ryan's bike 1085, my bike 10.6. That's without pedals on. And to make the testing as fair as possible, set up fork, tyre pressure and sag exactly the same on both bikes. And also, just to start off, we're running both bikes fully open on the suspension. So mine's got a manual twist lock remote for the 3 modes, but Ryan's is actually running flight attendant, rock shocked, digital lockout. So we've manually switched that to full open just for this first lap. So we're actually testing the bikes, as it were, rather than the suspension lockout systems. But otherwise, both Sid Ultimate Fork 120mm up front and Sid Lux rear, both giving 120mm of travel, and on paper similar kind of linkage setups as well. So shock semi-recessed into the top tube, and then little rocker linkage also mounted in that top tube or top of the seat tube to drive the shock. And yeah, how's my rear tyre breaking loose?
No, coming off that drop.
Oh really?
I mean, like, I don't know what it was, I want to have a look.
Did your jounce bumper on your Sid Lux catch your bottom out?
That was very, very metal.
Oh dear. And they're running exactly the same sag as well, 25%. But this giant is running a much longer stroke and a longer, higher volume shock as well. So 210 55 versus 190 45 on the Epic. So initial impressions, Ryan?
Oh, that's good. Can you do that for a second?
Yeah, sure. And my initial impressions is the recent rain has made these recon. Nearly lost him again then. Made these Aspens, sorry, pretty sketchy. So I think we're going to stick to the more man-made stuff. But obviously both bikes well under 11 kilos, both running fast rolling tyres, so both exceptionally rapid race focused machines. Although interestingly, with Epic 9, there's no Evo version anymore, whereas Giant are still running an Anthem X with a longer floor. Oh, hello. Completely lost the Aspen there on that route. First suspension report is that we both used full travel just on that little circuit, and I think we both had a moment's retraction as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not the best, like,
not perfect situations, but then
it's wet.
It ain't Korea.
It's just wet after it's been dry, so it's maximum grease, isn't it?
But I guess we'll learn maximum about traction and control in these situations.
We will indeed. Yeah.
Right. Shall we switch your flight attendant on?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, as a full video on this.
Oh.
Sit, press and hold.
There we go.
Whereas I'm running a more prosaic, but potentially more fail-safe twist lock manual there. So, Ryan's got full rock shots flight attendant automation now, whereas I'm just leaving this Anthem open. That's one thing you gotta get used to with super light XC bikes. When you launch them, they properly go. But then, if you watch guys like Levins racing that Epic 9, that dude's an ex-BMXer, so these bikes are getting properly sent now, which is why we're seeing 120mm and bigger tyres as standard on these bikes. And also a lot more progressive, capable trail style geo as well. But that's definitely somewhere this Anthem is slightly behind compared to the Spesh, so it's roughly a degree steeper than that Epic, and also at 20mm shorter, so 460, 465 for each for this large, whereas at Epic 9, 480, 485. Alright, so out the lumpy section, click it into pedal mode, and I'll also hear Ryan's bike firming up as well as we get onto the smoother stuff. And we're both running hammerheads linked to the power meters, so you can get some, hopefully, some interesting drive and efficiency data from the two bikes. But again, where that steeper, shorter Giant has a slight advantage is turning into those sharp and slower corners, but there's less to save you in terms of stability. Things start sliding or slipping at speed. Let's dodge the roots this time. Boom.
Okay. Feels really good with the flight attendant on.
Yeah.
Descending. And I think maybe we'll wait for this. Maybe what you'd expect on the climb, because just on a little tiny technical bit of climbing off of the main groomed path, I didn't feel like I had the grip.
Right,
I think it stayed firmed up a bit longer than I liked.
Okay, yeah.
But then once I hit the broom stuff, it just felt like it was where I wanted to be. Struggling for grip though with this tyre.
Yeah.
On anything.
Yeah, also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, so far, I mean, flight attendant on would be my
swap around
preference. Yeah.
So I'm on the Epic in open now. Oh, already interesting actually. Yeah, I mean, Specialized have worked really hard to give it a more fluid, dynamic feel and get rid of the choke on bigger hits compared to the Epic 8. And flicking between these two bikes, I was a bit skeptical about this actually when I've just ridden the Epic 9 rather than back to back. But now, having ridden them fully open on this bike, yeah, I can see what Brian, the designer, was on about. There's definitely some decent fluidity in this system, but still feels more efficient, kind of clipped. You know, saddle feels firmer, bike feels stiffer, even in fully open. But got a bit more anti-squat in there than the previous Epic as well, so can feel it tightening under power. And just referencing your pedal more, but then quite a tick up there as I try to hit that little square edge, and that definitely didn't feel as fluid and easy on the Epic as it did breezing up it on the Giant previous lap. But it's nice having that more relaxed head angle and longer reach on those descents where everything was a bit slippery and slidey. Although I'm sure you noticed as well, Ryan actually pulled away from me through the turns, despite the fact I'd actually say this fast track, I don't know, I've proved it in testing, this fast track is generally a grippier and more confident tyre than the Aspens on the Anthem. So, as always, some very interesting compare and contrast characteristics going on when we get head to head on these two bikes. Oh, and in terms of wheel weight, even though that Giant's got carbon spokes on its wheel system, this has got relatively heavy GT hubs. Difference in tyres means there's actually only 70 grams difference between wheel sets. So those Aspens are big volume, but they're heavy, whereas these Specialized are skinny but super light.
First impressions, dropping in, first things I noticed were the front end and the tyres. So the front end just felt, I know the bars are wider, I could feel that straight away, and it just felt slightly more chilled at the front than the Epic. And the massive difference in tyre volume, I feel it immediately underneath me, up front and back, just felt immediately different. So that were the first two things I felt within.
So you're basically feeling more connected, more confident. on the trail.
Yes, more confident. Yeah. But I don't know if connected's the right word. I just felt like it was a bit more chilled in behaviour.
Yeah.
Useful as a description.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting because that's actually about a degree steeper.
Is it?
Yeah, and it's also 20 mil shorter.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe that's just the wider bar. And
Yeah, because I was going with script. I was going, oh well, it's longer, so you know that's why I'm feeling it's a little more secure than that. But then, hang on, Ryan actually pulled away from me through there.
Right.
And it seemed like you were riding it more confidently.
Yeah.
Even though those tyres have actually got less grip than these tyres, I would say as well. So, again, numbers don't tell all the stories.
No. Let's see what's next.
See what's next. Right, so I'm gonna.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch the flight attendant on, and Ryan's gonna get to go play with the twist lock.
Yeah.
Sorry, just check my notes. Slight correction there. It's 0.7 of a degree difference in head angle and 15 mil difference in reach. But Epic is still the slacker, longer bike. Right. So Epic is in flight attendant mode now. But as you can see from the fork top, it's green, the wide open. Ryan is properly sending that. So, again, as plush as it can be, but that is so slippery, that section. And that back end is feeling really supple. But interestingly, despite identical setups in the fork, oh, that's the first time I properly sent that though, so that's interesting. This does feel, I think Ryan described it really nicely, as more hectic, which is interesting because the Giant's the one with the carbon cockpit, whereas this has got carbon bar and then a really neat sort of bandage stem. That seat post is dreadful, isn't it? Again, both proper racers, 125mm seat posts, but the own brand one of the Giant, even though it should be simpler and more reliable because it's just a coil spring, it's actually rubbish. Really having trouble with it not extending to full height. What? Wallop through the rear tyre there. What?
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's it, pedal.
That's you telling. Yeah, you see. Do you want to go around again? Let's do that bit again with it in open.
Yeah.
While we're here. And again, you can hear, don't know if you can see it on the head unit, but as soon as I'm off the power, I'm just rolling back down. Flight attendants fully open again, just ready to cruise. And you can tune all that in the flight attendant app, or through the fork itself. And in a moment, I'm running quite an open -2 by setting on it. You can see on the pedal there, it went to magic middle to get me up here. It's still there now, actually. Interesting, it's made the decision that needed more support, and that's quite an aggressive tune on this Epic 9 as well. Definitely harder to get moving in that magic middle setting on this bike than it is on the standard pedal tune from RockShox. Oh, wasn't concentrating then. But again, still open fork, pedal rear. Even though it's saying I'm in a high effort zone, on this hammerhead. So over 300 watts is where I've set that. But yeah, still feels the stiffer, firmer bike under power and through the saddle. Although I'm getting a bit of a bounce there. So I didn't feel as much on the Anthem. Oh, sprint mode apparently. Whew. Max power. Right, so same bikes, but full red descent now. And if you're worried about flight attendant not reacting quickly enough from lock to big hits, you do occasionally get very micro sensation. Got it just then as I launch from full lock into that little root drop. This bike is so measured, but most of the time reactivity is phenomenally quick. Almost clairvoyant sometimes in the way it seems to react, but oh, quite a thunk there. Ryan said he got one off one of the bigger drops as well. Definitely felt it, but feeling very taut and efficient through here. Be interesting to see how my hands are by the bottom of the red, because she is rocky. And then even then, just getting that little pop there from the flight attendant, just for those few pedal strokes, just feel it firming up. And that longer position does encourage you to kind of just sit it out. Oh, hello. I was just saying how nice and settled the Epic felt through there too, mate. You alright, love?
I don't think I've done that one before.
No.
I am alright, yes.
Good, good, good. Interesting. I was just saying, the longer, I just felt a little more settled and centred.
Just struggling
on
to
this.
hold a line.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like it looks like you're struggling more on this run than you were on the previous ones.
I am, to be honest, I'm petrified of this greasy rock today. I don't know.
Yeah, fair enough. It's because you're not wearing baggies and knee pads, mate.
There's a bit of me in that.
You've gone full XC cosplay for this one. Right, see how much you buzz my wheel down here, because I'm going to know, because that hyper-reactive free hub on that Giant is obnoxious in terms of noise. Whereas this DT Swiss is basically silent. Wow, felt the fork there. But yeah, actually really nice through there. You know, not as capable as a Spur or other 120mm down country bike, but then we're talking almost basically a kilo lighter in the frame. I knew if I gave Ryan something to chase, I wouldn't drop him. I can feel his breathing down my neck. But, you know, these bikes are, even in frighteningly greasy conditions, they are very, very capable and competent. Because that's, you know, what World Cup courses demand now and then. As soon as it senses me putting the power down into pedal mode on that rear shock while it's keeping the fork open to help it roll up and over stuff. But a bit of a scrabble from those tyres still. Oh, oh, and obviously it's a bit harder to feed this longer bike in and around. But even then, just because I gave it a bounce over that rock, rear end goes to open, try and grab some more traction and roll over. This bike really is working hard to give you maximum efficiency, and that feels like the full vibe of the bike after all. Sorry, just took a little moment out there to think, and just to follow up on saying it feels like it's working really hard for you for maximum efficiency. It does feel like it's working hard, so for every moment that it does something really supple and fast and responsive from that reduced friction in the suspension. Oh, hello. Again, perfect example. It'll then do something that feels quite uptight and unforgiving because of the damping and the kinematic and the smaller volume shock. As that giant just seems able to take more in its stride, both up and down. Right, into the Nova Mesto slippery route section. Probably a good time to have a chat about spec, because that is, in terms of price to weight, somewhere where Spesh definitely win with this Epic Pro. So 250 grams heavier, but £1,000 cheaper, and that includes a flight attendant, which is normally like £1,200 to £1,500 upgrade on complete bikes. But obviously with the extra sensor and battery weight is an increase in weight. And this Pro comes with conventional spokes, DT Swiss hubs, 350s, relatively heavy, on these Roval Control SL wheel rims. Whereas, like I say, get the full carbon fancy giant wheel control system on the Anthem Zero. Right. Oh. Yeah. See, through there, it just didn't feel like this. Still wasn't coping that great with the slow speed blocky stuff. Definitely better than the Epic 8, but still definitely making more of a meal of it than the Anthem seemed to. And also, this is SRAM XO rather than XX. So, while this is a lower spec, in terms of weight and in terms of actual performance on the trail, very similar results. Although the power meter on this Epic isn't a fancy double-sided one, it's just spindle driven and aggregates your power. If you're really into your data harvesting. But you'd have to pay 10.5k for a giant Anthem, the SELE, to get a flight attendant, whereas comes as standard on this Pro and on the S-Works. But all Anthems come with their top end carbon frame, whereas Pro and Expert Epics come with Fact 11M rather than Fact 12M. But there's only actually 70 grams difference in the frame weight. So again, it's definitely a very cost-effective way, a pretty cost-effective way to get a state-of-the-art race bike underneath you for 2026.
Give me a gap.
Yeah. Right. So, lock as we come off the road, and you can hear it already. Right, Ryan's going for the power play up here. Super treacherous.
Yep. Yep.
Woof. Yes. Open and pedal. No drama up there. Fair play. And if you watch the live ride of this bike, you'll know that's the second time that this bike's gone straight up a section that the Giant has struggled on.
Oh dear.
Oh dear indeed.
Not very good there, did it?
No, I was in bottom, to be fair. Maybe try that on your third attempt. Third attempt. 1, 2, 3. I mean,
I don't think that helped.
even if you're not a racer, this is what these bikes live for, is just, oh dear, oh dear.
It's this dodgy saddle.
Yeah, it's definitely the saddle. Definitely the saddle there. I mean, Specialized used to use the slogan, every ride is a race. And that definitely rings true whenever me and Ryan are out. Although, you know, he's a lot fitter and normally a lot more skillful than I am on the bike. So, interesting that this is his 4th attempt.
Oh no.
Oh no, yeah, maybe 5th time. Like, that was just like a commitment, mate. You actually just yawned then.
Oh.
That was... Dear me. He's not even a millennial, really. He just rides like one sometimes. There you go. See? Just ride up it.
Yeah, ish.
That'll do.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so gracious.
I know.
All the way through that.
I'm just a great friend. What can I say?
Haven't we ever gone that one?
Yeah, well, we'll go swap pedals. And we'll do that full loop again, if we survive this next drop-in. And I think, joking aside, one of the big advantages of flight attendant is the way that when you feed power into it...
Ah, I did have it pedal.
Ah, there you go. It does sit the bike up in its travel, just and make it a bit more nose down, as well as more efficient pedaling. So while they've both got similar really stiff, you know, relatively steep seat angles at 76 degrees. Whoa, they've blown that corner out. Yeah. What was I going to say? Flight attendant, definitely. If you're into it, obviously. If you're not, then it doesn't work. But having that, there it goes. that auto efficiency boost can be a big psychological help. Right, so switcheroo. I'm on the Anthem and it immediately just feels smoother, but in a frame set way. Actually, the front end just feels more compliant and actually feels like the traction is better structurally. It kind of got that almost sort of steel tie vibe to it, whereas that Epic feels really precise and authoritative, and it's got that torque cap on the front fork. This, in terms of handling, just the way it connects to the ground, I mean, I might eat my words, yeah. Yeah. What's that? Yeah, actually, yeah, across those square edges, I'll give you that. Wait. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. That magic middle there seems to work better through the lumps. And now there's a bit more load. Those tyres feel more sketchy, and yeah, I can see why Ryan lost it more easily through there. But then, oh, these bikes are so, whoa, hello, slithered that, definitely. That max speed compound on these Recons. Yeah, it's when it starts getting more geological, more blunt, that this feels like it's struggling compared to that Epic. And there's just a bit more. What starts off as nice comfy twang just starts to feel a bit loose and harder to control and communicate with those tyres once you start really pushing it hard. Interestingly, around there,
yeah, I felt better. I know conditions are drying out.
Nah, I don't think they're significantly.
But more supportive through the big.
Yeah, as soon as it started getting blockier,
Yeah.
I mean, I sat on your tail fine at the top bit,
Yeah.
but then I was just about to say how much smoother it felt, and then I was like, actually, I kind of had a quiet moment, and then you went, this feels better through there. I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I don't know if that's been vital good taking care of business for me.
Yeah.
But the whole package was helpful.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Felt better.
Well, both of us screwed that up. I was just about to say, one thing a flight attendant really helps is once you start getting tired and start forgetting to use the manual lookout on this. So now I'm in pedal, but before it's definitely more bounce and wallow, just kind of sapping into rhythm, and also just making it a little bit less precise through those tight little rocky turns, just because there's more movement from the back end. And then, see, I forgot, I remember up there, flight attendant went into open mode, nice and smooth through there, and I forgot on the Anthem. Just got bullied about a bit. And now back into pedal mode for more support up here. And it does work really well in each setting, but oh, it's just another thing to think about yourself. But obviously, flight attendant is more weight and more admin in terms of remembering to charge and fit batteries and tune the setup to suit you. So again, different systems, different results, different pros and cons. Oh, come on, guys. This rear tyre is rats. For different riders, it says, finally finishing his statement. And this is a hard one. So much going on. And both fundamentally very similar, but also somehow very different.
Front end on this stiffer, do you think?
Feels it, yeah.
Maybe that's what it is through that chunkier stuff.
Yeah, because this felt better at the top of the red.
Same shock.
It felt like almost like a steel carbon bike. Sorry, like a steel tie bike.
Yeah.
Really flowed nicely.
Yeah.
Through those upper berms. And it felt more forgiving. Over like the little nuggety hits.
Yep.
As soon as it got into bigger stuff, you looked like you were riding more precisely.
Yeah.
More confidently.
I did feel it, yeah.
So I'm not sure if the traction's any better on that, but it feels easier to push.
Yeah. Once
the speed and the bump size goes up.
Impact builds, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
So again, it goes back to this feeling more chill.
Same fork, but very
same fork.
Feel through bigger.
Same pressure.
Bigger impacts.
I don't think there's any fundamental difference between the tunes in like open and well, they're both in open. You know, it's only the shock that Specialized are mucked around with.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, you seem to be a lot. I mean, obviously you're fitter than me, but you seem to be a lot fresher after that climb.
Yeah.
Than after the last one. I certainly seemed to struggle more on that. Just because I was like kept being in the wrong mode, and then I was thinking about being in the wrong mode.
On the.
Yeah, because I was forgetting like the little rocky bits. I'd forget to change it into open.
Yeah.
And I'd lose a bit of time there, and then I'd like change it into open and go, oh, that feels saggy now. And
I think really thinking like when you're tired and you're pushing, having flight attendant flicking between modes is brilliant.
Yeah. But then if you're that tired and you know, you might forget to bring your batteries for your flight attendant. Swings and the roundabouts, always. Right. Not Nova Mesto. The rooty bit over the road.
Oh, yeah.
Right, onto the rooty stuff. And again, bit offline, bit of smear traction. That actually felt great there on this Giant. Because again, well, carbon spoke wheels often feel really, really harsh. These wheels feel surprisingly smooth as well, and I have ridden the bikes with the wheels swapped just to check there was no massive difference between them, and there isn't, so I just went back to stock. But then again, get the power down hard and it just felt in the same way that Ryan struggled on this a little bit before. Oh, but then again, there's pedal mode. That'd explain it. Yeah, now I'm in open. Much better. Definitely easier movement in that sag zone there. So interesting to see how it goes across here. Normally horrible, but oh, I was just about to say I actually felt much better through there, and I fluffed the line. Human error definitely coming into play as I get more tired. Is it as simple as this feels better on natural stuff and that feels better on man-made?
No. Now I'm riding up here thinking, if it was me for my money, assuming they were the same price, which I know they
Yeah.
I love the spec.
Right.
I think the flight attendants are like this, where they're so close to the map.
Yeah.
Difference?
Yeah.
Big difference. This feels to me really good. The more I ride it, the more I like it.
Alright, so here we go. I reckon it's open. And then just drive. Oh, tyre slip. But Ryan cleaned it on the spesh. Again. Alright. Pedal. Same gear. You have to make do with two efforts. So again, just a bit more support in pedal mode, and up she goes. So I think on average, Anthem's still ahead on that one. Oh, short circuit into this one. I mean, both these bikes do feel remarkably good down this steep and twangy stuff. It's that route beforehand, isn't it? That's what pushes you wide. Yeah. Well, obviously they both have their pros and cons. Both of them so good compared to old school race bikes and stuff like that. It's night and day in terms of confidence. And now, and this is stiff when you lock it out, but never feels as stiff as that Spesh. Not structurally anyway. Okay, so I'm feeling epic again. Again, it just, this does feel more unsettled and more clunky on this kind of looser natural stuff at the top every time. I think it's just because, I know Giant produced a load of frame stats that said their bike was stiffer, and this Epic 9 isn't any stiffer than the Epic 8. It's 206 grams lighter. Ooh, bit of a slither there, but they're not claiming to have increased stiffness. But it just feels more precise, and sent Ryan even at the top there. Even just moving it about, it just feels lighter and cleaner somehow. And then once it starts hitting the bigger stuff, oh, do you know what? There's bugger all between them, isn't there, really? But there you go, you see. Just feeling a bit more settled and secure through here. Both using full travel, ascertained that already. Definitely more kind of twang and shift from the back end there, but again, more in a kind of, this is stiffer and shuffling way, whereas that feels, the Anthem feels more fluid and organic. But there's no doubt it's Specialized is hanging on to the Giant better than I hung on to the Specialized on the Giant down here. And that's unusual because Ryan is the master of the XC run down Stainburn, not least because he's the only person, as far as I know, who's Everested the damn thing. How many laps was that?
What?
Your Everest?
Oh God, I don't know, over 50 was it?
It was horrific.
30, I can't remember.
It's horrific.
30 maybe, I can't remember.
Right, hang on a minute.
A lot.
There we go, lockout on. Right, we're going to do Only the Lonely.
Okay, it's confirmed it.
Hey?
That one.
Okay.
This feels less forgiving at the back. Through there.
Yeah, it's a without using the old cliche, it feels like a game of two halves though. That goes in at the top.
Yeah.
And feels smoother.
Yeah, I agree with
feels
that.
more easygoing, feels more forgiving. Then as soon as you get into the more chunky stuff, it almost feels like it's working harder but doing more. Whereas that feels it's kind of easier, but then it starts to get overwhelmed. Does that make any sense?
I think it does, yeah. I mean, we are saying that we should say there's not much between them.
Oh, this is proper Princess and P stuff.
They are both.
And digital Ps at that.
Closely matched.
And both very good bikes.
But there's just something about the feel of the Spesh when you start to push on that it just seems to hold its calm more and just be more on point.
Yeah, like I say, this feels more sort of clinical and digital, which I think is why I like that Anthem more at first, because the first ride I had on it was like really warm. I felt great. It was really kind of organic, flowing ride. I felt really good on it. It just felt like it was really helping me along. Whereas there's just so much to think about when you're riding this because of all the shock changes that all seem to contradict each other. And then you've got the flight attendant overlay on it. But like we said at the top, at the end of the day, this feels more clinical, more efficient, and that's what you want from a race bike.
It feels more like a complete race bike.
Yeah. And that's not just flight attendant either, because even with flight attendant off,
same.
It feels similar.
Yeah.
But if you want sort of a more forgiving, maybe a longer distance bike, I don't know. I feel like each part of that, whether it's tires, wheels, even bar, suspension feel, it feels more comfortable. I'd say the Anthem definitely feels more comfortable.
Towards a bit more comfort.
Yeah, when this locks out, this is savage. Another interesting one.
Yeah, very interesting.
As always. So, gonna go for a bit of a timed attempt back up Only the Lonely. Which bike are you picking, Ryan?
I'd take the Spesh.
Go.
Yeah. I'd take the Spesh.
It's so funny, we've just been stood here for another couple of minutes just going, yeah, but down there, that the back end of that was really skipping. I was like, well, this was really skipping as well. And it's so close.
Really close, yeah.
I think
we're really struggling to call out massive differences between these two bikes.
And in which case, you've kind of got to go for the bigger picture and go, well, you're getting, in terms of tech and weight, you're paying £1,000 less for this bike and getting a smarter suspension system.
There's no doubt.
And while on theory and paper, you're getting fancier wheels and fancier kit on that, this actually weighs the same and is functionally exactly the same on the trail.
Yeah.
for £1,000 less.
Yeah, yeah.
Plus, if you then spent, you know, put £1,000 into a set of wheels on it, you could, you know, save more weight, or just carbon crank on here would save a bit more weight. And, you know, if you spent £1,000, what I'm trying to say is, you spent £1,000 on this, you could, I think you could easily overcome that 250 grams weight advantage, which still isn't allowing for the fact that flight attendant is normally heavier and more is heavier and is normally more expensive as well.
Yes.
So,
is flight attendant useful on a race bike? Yes.
yeah, that's another very big conclusion, which is interesting because I'm just about to spec up my next race long-termer, which is going to be an Orbea Oise, and one of the big options on that was whether to go with flight attendant or not. And having ridden these back to back today,
I really think so.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of remote lockout, but already, I mean, we haven't been riding that long. I've already proved that once I get tired, I'm not capable of making the right decisions when it comes to picking lockout. Been a good one.
It's been a good one.
Yeah. Cheers, boss.
Nice.
So, yeah, I just kind of realised we've kind of come to the end of it. But yeah, let us know what you think. Like I say, it's always your feedback that makes these a lot more valuable and a lot more interesting. So if you've got an Epic, if you've got a Giant, or if they're bikes you're looking at buying, you know, what are the things that you're looking for in a bike? Because there's other features as well, you know. Both of these have internal headset cable routing. Neither of these bikes have internal storage, although the Anthem X does on the Giant. But this has a threaded bottom bracket, but it doesn't have a cabled gearing option, whereas the Giant has a press fit bottom bracket, but it does have a cabled gearing option. So again, all of those, you know, just each one of those could be a deal breaker. I was trying to remember what the word was there. Could be a deal breaker for you in terms of overall kit. And like I say, you know, loads more bikes still to come in this category. We've already got the Canyon Lux World Cup, which I'm hopefully getting soon. We've got the Orbea Oise, which will already have launched by the time you watch this video. And then we've got the new Scott Spark coming as well, and potentially some other bikes coming this season. So very, very busy year for XC bikes, and looking forward to getting as many of them, not just live ride tested individually, but also compared back to back as often as I can. So as always, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, click for notifications. If you can help on Patreon or YouTube, thanks. That's a huge bonus. And if you can't, put your hand in your pocket at the moment, totally understand. But if you just tell your mates and get them to watch the channel as well, that is a huge help. Because, as Ryan proved today, you know, having someone else to ride with, or just bounce opinions off, makes things a hell of a lot more fun and a hell of a lot more interesting, and, you know, in terms of testing, a lot more accurate as well. So, see you in the comments, and you might even win a pair of Bridgestone mountain bike socks. Those are even the custom ones with a logo on. More news about them later too.